This Magister didn't die by a sword. Something's afoot.
Voidwoken! The sorcerer's conjured Voidwoken! Form up! Don't let them over the bridge!
The spectral Magister raises his sword and shield against an unseen Voidwoken foe.
Good find.
Feed them like pets? Get yourself together, man.
Gareth toils in monotony. Gareth freezes, then turns slowly towards you. His breaths are steady, his voice a monotone.
I'm digging my murdered parents' graves. I'd ask that you show your respects.
Gareth moves to continue his task, but his cadence falters. He pauses. Silence hangs, begging to be broken.
No, of course you didn't. Godwoken, I've seen Seeker's blood seeping into the sand. I waded through corpses on the deck of the Lady Vengeance. But when the lifeless eyes looking back at you are your own mother's, I just didn't know. I didn't know what darkness lied beyond pain. Now, well, now I do.
Gareth shies away from you. His eyes pass over the half-filled graves, and he takes a shuddering breath.
Comfort! Even Lucian has none to spare. I've prayed to him, an endless litany. How many tears do I have to shed? How much must I lose for him to listen? No comfort, only recompense. Against Dallas's cronies, against the abomination that carry out their commands. The monks do the dirty work, and the whites keep their robes clean. Convenient! The monks that did it, they're still in the house, spreading their rancid smell. Paladins came to clean up the mess. In the name of Lucian, they say, and they seem to believe it.
Gareth forcefully exhales and looks past you to the nearby house. You fear he might snap the shovel's handle in two.
Nerve tonic? I am not some frail child, and you are not my goddamned nurse!
You swear you hear Gareth's pulse, galloping faster than a saddled mount. You've never heard such a thing before, but you suspect Gareth's heart is close to tearing.
If you want to help, then you find the craven wight that ordered their slaughter. Anyone that stands between you and truth, no matter the flag they fly or creed they follow, make them bleed!
His clenched jaw tightens further, and then, in an instant, Gareth's guard is broken. Tears well in his eyes. With every blink, a pearl of grief falls to his cheeks.
My parents, they did nothing to deserve this. They were good. Honest. More honest than me. I'd give my own life to bring them back. I never got that last chance to tell them I loved them. I never got to say goodbye. You're right. There's nothing more to be done here. Lucian, forgive me. And please, Godwoken, please forgive me too.
That thing isn't Donna. It isn't anybody. It's a monster, pure and simple. All of them are.
The two paladins Gareth mentioned are arguing in front of the door to the modest farmstead. As they notice your arrival, they stop talking and look at you quizzically.
We're guarding this house. Wise to stay well back. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did. They didn't kill anybody. The Magisters who control them did. You know Donna, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Not until they turned her. But they did turn her. And now she's not Donna anymore. Get it through your head. The poor creature should be put down. No, wait! Surely, maybe someday they can be fixed. When all this source nonsense is over.
The other paladin rolls his eyes and shakes his head as he turns to face you.
In any event, it's our business, not yours. You just stay well away from the door and you'll be perfectly safe. You can't do that. They were people who were loved. It's not right to butcher them like cattle. You're right. Here, take the key. We'll leave you to it. I don't want to see Donna like that again. You'll remember her as she was, Jad. The real her.
Paladin William nods his thanks to you, and with a last sorrow-filled glance at the house, Paladin Jad turns to follow his companion away.
But, fine.
A spillage all over the floor.
Junk. Junk.
This dwarven monk hangs his head, as if looking down at his feet. A wretched gurgling noise issues from him. He does not resist in the least, merely slumps to the ground with one final gurgle.
Oh, greet the Reaper for me.
The lumpen silent monk stands like a pillar of decaying flesh. so still it seems he is not even breathing. All of a sudden, like a bellows, he exhales a fetid gust right into your face. The stench of rot shrouds you, coating you in a way you fear will never truly be washed away. He looks through your eyes with seeming disinterest as the life ebbs from his body, drop by drop, until he is gone and the flesh that housed him slumps to the ground.
Meet the Reaper for me.
May Gareth always choose the right path. Nothing we didn't see coming. We always knew Gareth was fated for greatness. As a boy, he'd leap through the fields with wooden sword in hand, slaying imaginary demons, protecting us from whatever evil he would dream up. We also knew that good men make enemies. We knew evil would come, and so it did. Not as a demon or as a witch, but as a man Gareth once knew as a friend. Jonathan. He watched eagerly as those shambling husks descended. It seemed like a game to him. Like theatre. We would never blame Gareth. The righteous always pay a price. May the Seven will it. He will always be the hero we know him to be.
She nods.
The truth can be difficult. We all want to believe in each other. It's what separates us from the void. It's what makes our existence worthwhile. It's what we do next that defines us. We can respond with treachery, or we can rise above. I trust that you will. Gareth did his duty. We felt it was only right that we did ours. The farm was always a safe space for sorcerers needing refuge. They deserved a haven, and so we gave them one. Our guests were usually frightened, shy, grateful. They never used their source, so the Voidwoken never came. The last one, though, she wasn't like the others. A lizard named Hanag. We housed her and fed her. Robes like a wizard's, voice like a queen's. Voidwoken appeared before long, and paladins after that. She clearly drew the Magister's attentions. Our fates were written. Given the choice, I'd sooner open my heart and home than keep it closed out of fear and anger. Reckless? Perhaps. But also right. May Gareth always choose the right path.
Emaciated of body and spirit, this silent monk stands straighter than the others, the remnants of military bearing clear in her posture. This must be Donna, the one spoken of by the paladins guarding the door. She gives no indication at all that she has heard you, save for a single tear dripping from one eye. Her tears flow along with her blood, yet, even in the moment of death, she does not break her silence.
Meet the Reaper for me.
The silent monk looks like she was only recently converted. Her face was clearly beautiful once, and the eyes looking at you are not yet the full Fuligen black of other silent monks you have seen. One of her hands trembles. Twitching, it reaches out to you. Her hand is cold and smooth, like that of a porcelain doll. Jerkily, as if unused to movement, she strokes your hand gently and looks into your eyes. Her lips part, and her mouth moves. Did she whisper, "Save me"? Or, "Slay me"? Or did you only hear what you wanted to hear in the whispers of the wind? Her eyes squeeze shut, and her whole body trembles, but she puts up no resistance as you kill her.
May Gareth always...
us and this lunatic! your maker.
The spirit of a farmer takes in the destruction of the nearby environment with dismay.
What happened? Void-open attacks and great rifts opening up in the ground. That's what happened. My life was snuffed out, my home reduced to rubble, and my savings were lost within it. I should have sold this place when I had a chance, and moved somewhere quiet to spend my twilight years.
The spirit throws up his arms to shield himself. It does no good.
away from me, you lone wolf tosser. Likely story, wolf. Go on. Piss off. Else what? You lone wolves kick the shite out of me and send me into an accursed minefield where my cart gets blown up and I get killed, and all you can do is laugh. What could you possibly do that's worse than that? Likely story, wolf. Go on. Piss off. Get away from me, you lone... God damn it, I hate lone...
The ghostly elf stands protectively over his corpse, eyes darting across the minefield. His gaze never quite falls on you. You are a warrior, proud and true. You saw your people die as the death fog consumed the forest. You heard them scream and then fall silent. You came for revenge, and you found your own death.
Careful now. That's a trap.
The elf spirit seizes you by the shoulders, but you feel nothing. His eyes are panicked, and he appears to be shouting something, but you can't hear him. He screams on, but with another's voice. An elven child, in terror and in pain. The fog, the fog, the fog! Those screams will never leave you, even after your death.
Guards ahead.
The spirit stands with her feet apart, arms at her sides, palms up. She appears to be chanting something, perhaps a prayer to the sky. but you hear nothing. You are a dancer, a lover, a jester. But then the death fog takes the forest and all you know is gone. The screams of your people echo in your heart. You become a warrior. You die fighting, all play forgotten.
Impressive work getting past our defences. Now turn around and see if you have the same luck going the other way.
He peers at it, then sheaths his weapon.
Well, why didn't you say? In you go, and welcome. Roost is upstairs if you want it. Welcome. Mind yourself.
The spirit turns to meet your gaze. You feel heat upon your skin. The acrid stench of charring flesh assails your nose, and you can hear screaming, the agonizing cries of people burning alive. The spirit, mute, holds out his hand towards you, palm upwards in supplication, his eyes pleading. With a blast, the heat surrounds you. The hair on your forearm shrivels and dies. Flames dance across your vision, and the screaming seems to fill your very existence. And for a moment, you are the spirit before you. Your name is Cyrus Oates, and you are in a tavern with your friends. But someone has barred the exits and set the place afire. And you know that it's your fault. Your friends scream for help that will not come. You know that outside stands the lone wolf Pigsbane, and that he was paid to kill you. You know Pigsbane listens for your screams. All you can do is die proud. Your name is Cyrus Oates, and you will not scream. Your blood warms. The roar of the flames drowns the screams. Cyrus Oates begins to burn. He does not scream. You feel your flesh blister and char, your head crackle and burn. Cyrus Oates bares his teeth as his lips are burned away, but he does not scream. You try to close your eyes against the pain, but your eyelids have burned away. You haven't breathed in what seems like hours. You desperately want to scream. But Cyrus Oates did not scream. Your mouth opens wide, and you scream in horror. But no sound comes. The blackened bones that once were Cyrus Oates opens its mouth and starts to laugh. Then he releases your hand, and you fall backwards, spinning, burning into the abyss, falling forever into your own soundless scream.
Do I smell smoke? You made it past the traps, fair enough. But you still better step carefully, stranger, or I'll tear your throat out with me teeth. If you find out from me, you'll find out the hard way.
He draws his wands.
You're in my space, stranger. Feel free to leave it.
Light crackles along the wands in a display of potential power. Point made. The spirit of a woman locks her gaze on the lone wolf sentry.
Say my name, you son of a sow! Edie Engrim! Say it! Say my name!
And then you are her. You are the young woman Edie Engrim, seduced by a boy. But to become a lone wolf, he had to pass a test. He had to murder the woman he loved. He passed the test, and you were murdered. And all the time you knew him, he never spoke your name. She turns to look at you at last.
I was Edie Engrim. My killer should be made to speak my name.
He gives you a stern look, then turns back to his watch. Suddenly he's interested. Suddenly he's on edge.
Who are you to her? Friend? Comrade? Lover? If you're looking for revenge, you won't find it here.
He leans forward and growls.
No. And push no further, or we shall have a problem.
He considers and comes to the conclusion that it's not worth his while resisting.
Hells, forget it.
He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath.
Edie Ingram. She was always at her most beautiful when she was angry.
A smile spreads across his face.
She'll be waiting for me in the halls, and she's gonna be pissed.
The spirit of a woman locks her gaze on the...
I hope it burns your tongue to say my name! Don't think yourself atoned for what you did, lone wolf. But me, I'm free of you now. To the halls I'll go.
She turns and looks you in the eye. Then she dips her head in thanks and leaves. An elderly mage glowers at the lone wolf sentry, muttering wordlessly. He jerks his head to look at you, but says nothing. Then he opens his mouth, and you can clearly see the tip of a crossbow bolt protruding from the back of his throat. The spirit clutches his mouth in shock, and then realizes what has happened. He removes his hands, and the crossbow bolt is gone. He can speak once more, if painfully.
Thank you.
He turns and points at the lone wolf sharpshooter.
Kill him.
The sharpshooter turns from his silent watch over the mill and its approaches, and holds you in a steady regard.
Enough to keep us in thinking. That's all I need to know.
A thin, grim man carefully sands the end of a beautiful, unpolished longbow. He studiously avoids looking up as you approach.
Mind your way, sir.
He looks from the ground to the bow and continues sanding.
Suppose I don't. I'm no assassin, just a Fletcher. Roost heard about my work and invited me to work here.
He blows a dusting of wood dust off the bow.
Feller doesn't ignore an invitation from Roost Anlon, does he? I'm not supposed to be trading with the other guests. Roost's orders. Fine, just please be discreet. I'm very much at Roost's mercy while I'm here. When the king of Fletchers takes his fletching into town. When the king of Fletchers takes his fletching into town.
Biting deep into the rotting flesh, your senses are assailed with a rank odor of meat long past its prime. Your memory wavers and becomes not your own, but the memory of one who led the most solitary of lives. You see myriad wings flapping, your hand scattering birdseed. You hear the screeching of eagles, the tearing of flesh. All of your life is centered on this place, this pedestal of death. All of your life is dedicated to feeding your eagles the meat of your dearly departed people.
All the people ask him where he left his crown.
A ghostly aura shrouds the log, along with a penetrating icy cold. Bitter cold shoots up your fingertips, through your arm, shoulder, neck, and into your brain. Your whole body contracts with the aching freeze, and a voice sounds inside of you.
See what I see. Feel what I feel. Look down.
Where your feet should be, you see great gnarled roots disappearing into a mossy forest floor. As this log once was, you are an ancestor tree. As you examine yourself, you see the top of a small elven child's head as she approaches. She wraps her arms around you and rests her head against your great trunk. You pass her a memory. Once you were her father. You pass her the softness you remember of her chubby cheeks. You pass her the warmth between you when you curled back to sleep. A tear trickles from the child's eye and onto your bark. She whispers that she loves you. She says she will come back tomorrow.
You see?
The child departs, and night falls. You hear voices and the dull thud of axes. A human approaches you and pats your trunk. He raises his axe and...
You see?
You lie in pieces on the forest floor. Rough hands toss you into a cart and haul you away.
You see? You see what he does to me. You see he takes me from my life. You see he cuts me into parts. You make him pay. His bones lie buried in our sacred soil, but his spirit remains. Find him. Take from him what he takes from me. I show you where. Find him. I find peace then. I find peace when he is gone.
Hey, it's a good living here. You know that.
Your living is nothing if you're unhappy.
Never knew you to be sentimental.
Logical.
The whiff of chemistry assails you. You know that it's all in your imagination, but still your throat constricts, your stomach turns, and your vision swims before you. As your vision clears, you realize that the spirit before you is, or was, a childhood slave. Old Stinky went on to become a poisoner known as the Black Widowmaker, shunned by all the houses. He turns to you. His eyes widen in recognition. He looks insane, even more insane than he was all those years ago. He exhales. A cloud of greenish gas envelops you, and suddenly you are him. You're the Black Widowmaker, deep down in black shadows, setting your latest creation to paper. A deadly brew that looks and tastes like an elixir. It's your best work yet. You sip a celebratory tonic, and you realize you've made your last mistake. Your throat constricts. Acid burns your guts. Your heart slows to a halt. You slump forward. A kin appears, a lone wolf. She takes your book, but you're already dead. He gives you but a sneer, then turns back to the real focus of his hate. He intensifies his gaze on the lizard lone wolf before him. If looks were poison, she'd soon be dead.
Then leave. Looking fresh, gorgeous. What I wouldn't give to climb your tree.
An elegant lizard lone wolf smokes Drudene through an ornate pipe. She turns one eye on you, raises the brow above it.
It wasn't I who switched his drinks. Besides, his death saved lives, so let's hear no more about it. Summing up, I can't help you, so get lost.
She puffs upon the pipe and blows the smoke towards you. When it clears, she's looking away again, as if you were never there.
So tired.
Look out. See a trap nearby.
The spirit of a young woman stares in blissful devotion at the lone wolf alchemist.
Piss off! Unless you got money. Not likely anything you can afford. Right! Piss off!
Then leave. Hey,
It's the waiting that gets you.
Laughter plays upon the lone wolf's spirit lips, but madness flashes in his eyes. His flittering gaze never quite comes to rest on you.
Hey, wanna have some fun? A joke, of course. A prank, if you will. Tell Slumberjack here that Mudbarrow wants his money. You greedy smell guilt. Yes, my sleepy friend here killed me for my bloody gold. Serves me right for all the things I did. The irony. Ask her where the money is. I'd love to see the murdering little loiter basket lose her money. My money.
A lone wolf mage naps quietly. She talks in her sleep.
Laugh all you want, Mudbarrow. Madmen tell tales, and dead men's ghosts do not.
She turns towards you. When she opens her eyes, she's looking right at you.
Mudbarrow can't have his money. I hid it.
She closes her eyes and settles back to sleep.
What are you waiting for? Tell the sleepy sourpuss here.
She mutters in her sleep.
I never liked you anyway, Mudbarrow. You or your shite sense of humour. Don't think you haunt me, dead man. You are the Godwoken that we killed. Hey, that tickles.
She stretches, shifts position, but doesn't wake up.
You won't find nothing. Money's hidden on the beach by the water.
She's gonna be so mad. When she finds that money gone.
He slaps his thigh, tears of mirth rolling down his cheeks.
I bet you will.
Doubt crosses his face as he realizes he's stuck here forever, and there are no more jokes to make.
Now.
Panic rises. And as the black shadow of eternity looms over him, he becomes hysterical. And what was once laughter is now an anguished scream. He returns to himself. The screaming stops. Both eyes settle upon you at last. He looks tired. He looks haunted.
But I've done such terrible things.
He takes this in. A single ghostly tear trickles down his face.
I should go. Use the money well, if you take it. Do some good with it.
He raises a hand in salute and disappears. She mutters in her sleep.
I miss you, Mudbarrow, you old bastard. But I'm keeping your money.
Unhappy people are.
It's the waiting that gets you. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
I've spotted something.
I've spotted something. These river guys will shoot you through if you get too close. I'm gonna try and slip through the back way myself. I like a river challenge.
The spirit of a paladin knight leans his head to one side, revealing the huge gash in his neck that nearly took his head off, and grins, a green glint in his eye. When he speaks, he whispers.
She's stronger than you know. Stronger than you know, boy, and faster, too.
He launches one hand forward and, with a jolt, you are him. You're with Paladin Tom Hardwin, your best friend, on your way to arrest the notorious murderess known to all as Mummy Dearest. You find the dwarven lone wolf in a tavern at the bar. She doesn't look like much. You stand behind her. Tom Hardwin calls her name. The bar goes quiet. She doesn't turn, but you see her reach. You step forward to protect Hardwin as the axe comes around. In a moment, you're staring at the ceiling with Tom's hands pressing on your neck. A tavern wench is screaming, and Tom can't stop the blood. And through the panic and the tears, he puts his own price on the lone wolf's head. You just lie there thinking, she's stronger than you knew, and faster too. He tilts his head once more, the great wound that killed him yawning open. He begins to laugh.
Off the top of my head? She's stronger than you know, and faster too. And here's the thing. She hates the wet. It makes her itch, and she makes mistakes. If only it would rain. She really is much stronger than she looks.
A compact, heavily muscled dwarf turns from her training. She flicks her wrist and instantly her axe, a stunning elven weapon, is a hair's width from your chest. The blade sings.
Everat. Name means nothing. And anyway, I had nothing to do with it, and nor did this axe. I took it from an elven raider a day or two ago. That belongs to the original elven owner. Doesn't it add character? It will if you swing it at me. Especially if you're an elven raider with more enthusiasm than skill. All right, we're done. Bugger off.
She returns to her training.
She really is much stronger.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Then leave.
Oh, it's you. Hello. All the people asking where he left his crown.